So, Mike, how's it feel? I know you've got some exhibitions under your belt, or exhibition in a scrimmage, but to get the first game for Coach Holtmann on Friday, what does it feel like in the locker room? Is there a level of excitement added to the fact that it's the first game of the season?
Yeah, I think for sure. Obviously there's a lot of anticipation for this game. With a new staff and pretty much a new team. It was exciting. It was good to be able to get out there and play hard and be able to just see where we are. Obviously Worcester is not the level of competition we're going to be playing going forward. But it was good to see us gel a little bit and see us make little mistakes that we can fix very easily. So.
What have you learned from Coach Holtmann that you need to do to be on the court? Like, what sort of things do you have to prove to him before he puts you on the court? I mean, as a whole, not just yourself personally.
Right. Well, for everyone, it's play defense and play hard. If you can defend, you're going to play. If you play hard, you're going to play. Offensively, that's you have a little bit more freedom, but defensively that's he wants you to play defense. The whole staff wants you to play defense. Sit in the stands, be able to move your feet, stay out of foul trouble. If you can play defense and play hard, you'll be in good shape.
What's the motivation with the team? I mean, you mentioned just being excited, but to start things off on a positive note, with the first game that matters and whatnot under a new coach, what's kind of your guys' motivation heading into this?
Well, this is kind of a, very basic statement, but I mean, it's just to prove people wrong. I mean, a lot of people say that, we're not, Ohio State. We're very weak, and especially with the new coaching staff and a bunch of new players, it's tough to come back and play very well and play with some energy, just with all the circumstances we've gone through over the last couple of years. So the biggest thing we want is to just prove people wrong, prove that we're capable of playing and playing well, and capable of beating some very tough opponents.
Mike, how many behind-the-back transition dunks can we put you down for this year?
I don't know. We'll see. JT played some pretty good defense on that one play, so I'd have to honestly give him the credit for it because he, made the kid, lose possession of the ball to where I could pick it up and run with it. But I mean, hopefully we'll get a couple more. It was definitely kind of a cool play.
That you had that kind of flash in your game. I was like, put it behind your back. I was like,
yeah. I mean, I can handle a little bit. And I can jump a little bit too. Not as much as Cam, but I can still jump a little bit. So it was definitely fun.
And I guess like along those lines. We know that you're a gifted three-point shooter, especially for a guy who's as big as you are. But other areas of your game, where do you think maybe you've seen the most improvement now that you're heading into this season?
I think one thing is just patience in the post with my back to the basket. That's something we've worked on a lot with all the big men, not just me. Just being patient, letting the play flow, reading the defense before you make a move, and then making the right move after reading the defense. Just being confident, I mean, a lot of the time, like if you're just rushing yourself and you're not sure what you're doing, like you're not going to make the right play. So just being patient, not rushing it, and making the right play.
In terms of where you are this season and last season, in terms of the vibe in the locker room, how is it different starting this season from where it was starting last season? What's the biggest difference?
I think guys are just having fun. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure, but I wouldn't say that guys are feeling the pressure as much because we all just like each other and all just having fun. It's like I said, it was exciting to get out there and just play, and that's pretty much all that the guys are worried about is just playing. I mean, there's a lot of noise going on around us outside of the court, but we're only worried about what's on the court. And besides proving people wrong, we're just having fun.
When you talk about that noise around you guys, I know Coach Holtmann has said that Coach Peden has got stuff up in his office, all the predictions and stuff like that. How much do you guys pay attention to that? Because I know we always hear that you're not paying attention to it, but obviously you guys are aware of it, it sounds like.
Well, I mean, just with the situation that's gone on, over the past couple of years, I think it's hard to not be aware of it. But at the same time, we use it a little bit as motivation. Coach brings that up a little bit, say, hey, look, guys, these teams are saying, this is the time to get Ohio State. And this just kind of like adds, fuel to the fire. And, that just motivates guys. And, but besides that, I mean, we're just trying to focus on ourselves and focus on what we can control and just going from there.
You mentioned not as much pressure, and I'm curious why. Is that because it's a new coaching staff, so maybe the expectations aren't as high? I mean, like, why do you feel like there's less pressure than there was maybe a year?
Personally, I feel like it's just because I have more support from my teammates. I feel like everyone is just kind of just gelling better. Not as cliquey. We're not cliquey at all. There's no separation. Everyone likes each other. Everyone is comfortable hanging out with each other, and so with that, I think it's just because of the extra support that we have from each other. I think there's less pressure in that sense.
Cam, what's it feel like for you knowing that this is the first game that you're going to play for a season, and I'm sure starting to have some of those thoughts, but this is the last time I'm going to do this, last time I'm going to do that. What's it feel like for you to get ready to start your last season?
It's a little bittersweet. You want to go out there and do so well, but for me, every game I just want to go out there and just have as much fun as possible. Just let loose, just play with my teammates, and just whatever happens, happens.
When we talked to Coach Holtmann the other day, he said that one of the things he really wants to see from you this year is he wants to see you really hunt your shots.
Mm-hmm.
What does he mean by that, and how do you have to do that?
Just no matter where the ball is, just be ready to shoot. Just always be in a shooting stance. No matter if the ball is like in the post or the opposite side of the court, just always be ready to shoot. Because I'm at my best when I'm in attack mode. I'm trying to attack the rim, set my teammates up, things like that. Not just being behind the line. So he just wants me to just stay aggressive, basically.
Have you ever not been ready to shoot? You strike me as that's always right.
No, it's been a couple times where I would have a shot opportunity on a late closeout and I wouldn't shoot. But I think that's just me figuring out, his new system. I think that played a big role in that. And now, I just feel like, I have a better grasp on, what he wants from all of us. I can pick my spots better. I know, where I should shoot and when not to shoot and things like that. And that just came with time. So, just understanding what he wants with his system and things, just going to go from there.
You guys were, was it 3 of 24, I think, on three-point shots in the exhibition? And I know it's just an exhibition, but I guess what I'm asking is this a good three-point shooting team? Is that too many three-point attempts for this team? Had you guys shot the ball well in the summer in the scrimmage when you guys played Xavier? How would you, describe the shooting ability of this team?
You said in the exhibition?
Yeah.
What 3 for 24?
Were you 3 for 24 on three-point attempts?
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
You forgot it. You put it out of your mind.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
No.
Can the rest of you do that?
I think it's just us, being a little jittery. Playing somebody else, with all the lights on, being in the shot. We've been in the practice gym, all summer, all preseason. I think it was just jitters, because, in practice, CJ seems like he don't miss in practice.
You don't miss.
Dre seems like he don't miss in practice. On the pick and pop, Micah seems like he don't miss. So, we know, shots are gonna fall, and we're all clicking and we're all on our cylinders. So we're not really I don't think we're pretty worried about it.
And Mike, you said you're aware of the sort of projections, but you don't pay too much attention to it. Do you guys pay attention at all to when Dan Dockich picks you guys to go to the Final Four?
So that's kind of funny. So I room with Andrew. I was like, did you see what your dad said? He was like, man, yeah, he just loves that. That's just who he is, Andrew said that, if things fall into place, we, progressively get better each day. We have a very good chance to surprise a lot of people. And Dan just took that and ran with it. So that's about all I know about the situation.
What is that relationship like with Andrew? Because I've listened, Dan on his podcast has said that Andrew said something like, I'll get Micah right by the end of the year. Micah's going to be what is that relationship like between you two?
We're cool. We have, we just have our common area. We just chill out there. We've been watching Stranger Things, and it's a great show, especially season 2. Just chilling, hanging out, getting to know each other better, and I think that's huge. Building relationships off the court affects relationships on the court. So just being able to know each other better and understand each other better helps on the court.
Cam, when you're talking about picking your shots and hunting your shots, and knowing where to get them this year, I've seen that there's X's on the court when you guys are practicing. Are those where you're supposed to be shooting from? Is that why those are there to help you focus in on where you need to be, or is that something else?
That's just more spacing. Okay. Yeah.
We've talked a lot to you guys and Coach Holtmann throughout the offseason, and the focus has been on defense, and you mentioned defense is going to get you on the court, but how do you envision the offense kind of coming this season? How do you see it playing out? How's the comfort level in it, under a new coach? coaching staff?
Okay. Well, the biggest thing, it's actually up on the wall in our locker room. Play to your strengths. That's like the biggest thing when it comes to our offense. You know, like I was saying earlier, don't rush it. Do what you're good at. Whether it be back to the basket, shooting, driving, and kicking. You know, whatever needs to be done. Do what you're best at. And you know, in the summers when you can develop and learn new skills. But right now, do what you're best at. The coaches are really good at, you know, putting you in a position to use what you're best at, and you know, kind of, I guess, hide your weaknesses, but just playing to your strengths and going from there.